give you some more cattle drive information, is I'm pointing at the Livestock Exchange building right over here on the north side of East Exchange Avenue. And that building had a nickname, Wall Street of the West. It was built in 1902. It had that nickname because of all the money flowing through there. And it looks kind of inaccessible today because of all the work that's going on in front, but you can get in that building and tour it, go inside, go to the museum, things like that, but you have to go through the back. So you can get in that building, you just have to go through the back. Information for you there. So thanks for coming out today, helping us celebrate our Western heritage, culture, history, that type of thing. And you may be wondering, why do we do the cattle drive twice a day here in Fort Worth? And we'll explain that here momentarily, but I do want to say something about safety first. And that is, the Longhorns are going to come down the street, and they are most likely going to walk right by you. But we are not in Pamplona, Spain. We're not looking for the run of the bulls. We're hoping to see the moseying of the steers. And they will be coming by, probably going to walk by. I say probably because every once in a while that's not what happens. I've been working down here in the stockyards for 12 years. I have seen them go running up that alley down there by Stockyard Station. I've seen them go up on the sidewalk to get leaves, acorns, eat plants, things like that. Seen them get their feelings hurt and want them to just take off running down the street. So things like that do happen every once in a while. So for safety, right now, if you're seated on the curb, you're fine, but in a few minutes, we'll ask everybody to please be up in a standing position. If you're up by the edge of the street, everybody up on the sidewalk, nobody standing in the street or sitting on the curb. We figured out a long time ago, it's easier to run if you're standing up. They are big, huge animals. Some of them weigh over 2,000 pounds, and they all have long horns. It's probably going to go totally smoothly, but every once in a while, that's not quite what happens. So we'll be standing up. Thank y'all for coming out again. And you might be wondering why we do it. Well, here's why we do it. Fort Worth has a lot of nicknames. Where the West Begins, pretty cool nickname. Another one is City of Cowboys and Culture. A lot of people are not aware that Fort Worth, Texas is the 13th largest city in the United States of America. We also have another one, Panther City. Really cool story with that one. But the best known nickname for Fort Worth is Cowtown. And right now I'm pointing at the Cowtown Coliseum, where they have a great rodeo every Friday and Saturday night. A lot of other great rodeo events throughout the year. So where's Cowtown come from? Cowtown came about because after the Civil War, the economy in Texas was wrecked. We didn't have a lot of assets at all. We did have one asset. We had millions of longhorn cattle in South Texas. It just so happened that the North had used up their beef in the war effort. For every 6 people they had up north at that time, they had about 1 cow. While in South Texas at the same time, for every 1 person we had about 6 cows. Down there, a cow's worth maybe $4, but if you can get that cow from down there south of San Antonio up to Austin, Waco, Fort Worth, right through here we are. There were no buildings around here at that time, but get it through here all the way to Abilene, Kansas, where the railroads were. You could sometimes sell that $4 cow for as much as 40. So economics, supply in the south, demand in the north. Here come the drovers, cowboys, cowgirls in some cases, up the Chisholm Trails. Basically, Interstate 35 west today. I-35 does scoot around the stockyards, a mile and a half east of here. Later on, they reconvene. The trail could be pretty wide. But there are over 400 markers along the heart of the trail. One of those markers is right over here in the RFD lawn. It says Chisholm Trail. So you're in the heart of it right here. And these cattle drives that came through here, they resurrected the economy in Texas after the Civil War and helped make Texas a ranching place we know it to be today.
Stay right there.
And Fort Worth was the most important stop on the Chisholm Trail. We mentioned all those cities south of here. The trail is over 800 miles long. So it starts 400 and something miles that way. It ends another 400 something miles that way. And you have all those cities south, really nothing of population from here, from Fort Worth all the way to Abilene, Kansas at that time. So they resupplied in Fort Worth. They partied some, and that was really the most important stop on the trail. That's why we do the cattle drive twice a day here in Fort Worth. Hope that helps you clear that up if you weren't sure about why we do that. Thanks again for coming out and helping us celebrate that. Appreciate it. So, cattle drives had a lot of structure. You had a trail boss up front, looking for trouble, looking for water, choosing a route. You also had a cook, chuck wagon driver. He was serving a lot of roles. He would be up at the front, to the left or the right, and he would serve as a father figure, a doctor, psychiatrist, barber, all these different things, which came in handy because you had a lot of really young people, young teenagers, later teens, early 20s, and they could use that father figure, etc. quite often. You also had point riders, you had swing, flank. In the very back, drag riders. Ride and drag was truly a drag. You're behind thousands of longhorns for hundreds of miles. There's a lot of bad things happening in front of you. Ride and drag's not something people wanted to do. Somebody had to do it though. A lot of bad things happen. We also had a wrangler in charge of remuda. Remuda means extra horses. Each drover had to have several horses that would change mounts throughout the day, and the wrangler took care of those. A real melting pot of cultures also. A lot of German and Czech immigrants on the cattle drives. You can hear those languages spoken, but also a lot of Mexican vaqueros, and 25% of drovers were African American. So, a real melting pot. Now, North Fort Worth is a real melting pot of cultures for a lot of reasons. The cattle drives are one of those reasons. If you want to know more about that and a whole lot of the other history here, for sure, come take a walking tour. I just finished up a great tour with people from 10 o'clock to 11:15. We have the next tour from 12 to 1:15. Mays ticket booth for that. Our last tour opportunity of the day is from 2 to 3:15. The tour will greatly enhance your experience here in the National Historic District. One of the best things you can do is come take the tour. That's at the Mays ticket booth right down here. Come take the tour. If you happen to watch either Yellowstone or 1883, you probably know they filmed a lot of 1883 down here. And by the way, Taylor Sheridan, you have Hell's Half Acre in downtown Fort Worth where the water gardens are. Taylor Sheridan turned up the street here into Hell's Half Acre for 1883. But on our tour, we'll see a lot of areas associated with that also. So come on down to the Maze, sign up for a walking tour. We'll have a great time. I can assure you. Everybody say hello to my buddy Reed. There he is right there, Reed, great human being, dolphin in his hat. His co-worker is Shooter, Longhorn Steer. Sometimes on a Thursday morning they have a staff meeting and Shooter brings the donuts and they come up with a special. Did that happen today? What did y'all decide? Free, gratis, no charge. Awesome. What else? $5 to get down. Marketing. Oh, down here we have Eric. Eric, another great human being. He's waving his hand. No doff of the hat for him. He's busy with a client, customer. They got a good special down here. It's free and it's $5 to get down. Can y'all beat that? What is it? Half off? Oh yes, usually $10 is $5 today. So, marketing people. Awesome. Fantastic. So, Longhorns will be coming down. And Longhorns are amazing animals. No two of them have the same coloring or horn shape. They're unique. They all have horns. Males, females, bulls, cows, steers, heifers, doesn't matter. But steers have the longest horns. They grow longer. And these are all steers. Some of them are over 8 feet, even over 9 feet. Check them out. They'll probably be up front. That's Goodnight and Chisholm. Their horns come out like that, and they go like that. They're brothers, siblings. In the back, you'll probably see Gus. Gus is blonde, cream color. Gus is kind of a wild card. Not too long ago. It's kind of new here. Took him a while to get him where he could do the cattle drives. And he's still a little shaky. Not too long ago, Gus went inside Stockyard Station on a cattle drive. They had to go get him and bring him back. So that's another reason why we're standing here. You never know where they're going to go, that type of thing. Awesome. By the way, in the front, somewhere close to the front, will be Riata. Riata has a bell around his neck, and a lot of people think that's because his horns don't work, but no, that's not it. Doesn't always has a bell. He's the lead steer. They typically use the lead steer, the one that was typically the leader. They go ahead and put a bell on it. Everybody can find it quicker. The cattle can find it. The rovers, cowboys can find it, and it worked that way. Now, the rest of them do not have bells. That's because they're going for the Nobel Prize. Awesome. Fantastic. Sure. Here we go. All right. So, it's going to happen here at the cattle drive in just a few minutes. Get those cameras ready. After the cattle drive, they will be in the pen at the end of the tracks of the Stockyard Station, right down here to follow the tracks. You can do pony rides here. You have the mechanical bull, train ride for kids, also the maze, TV show The Amazing Race used it one time. Next to that, trail rides. You can ride a horse here on the Chisholm Trail. Awesome. Petting zoo, shopping and restaurants inside Stockyard Station, shopping and restaurants inside Mule Alley, and shopping and restaurants at Main and Exchange. Billy Bob's Texas, all kinds of things to see and do here. So, the longest horns are in Rock Springs, Texas, 11.2 inches. There's one very close to him, and I think he's going to pass him pretty soon. Where do you think he lives? Alabama. Longhorns all over. So where are we from? Let's find out. If you're from Fort Worth, on the count of 3, please yell something nice. Fort Worth, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Awesome. If you're from Texas but not Fort Worth, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Yo.
Hey, we got some great Texans. If you're from another state in the United States of America, 1, 2, 3. Awesome, fantastic. I have a very trained ear. I could hear all those accents. It was really, which is a treat for us here since in Fort Worth we don't have accents. Right. Other countries, 1, 2, 3. Where are you from, sir? Germany, guten Tag. Fantastic. Welcome to everybody. I see Longhorns. I'm supposed to be quiet. Thank you for coming to the Stockyards today, and welcome to the Cattle Drive.